Hey guys, it's your favorite super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor, people's supervisor. Yes, I'm still gonna coin my name.
PM Friday, Tiffany Henyard, the former Dalton mayor and Thornton Township supervisor, walked into circuit court.
Tiffany, do you have any thoughts about being in court today, being ordered to come to court?
You don't have any comment right now.
Love on those that loving on you back, and pay attention to the people in your camp, because I had a ton of Judases in my camp. I kid you not.
We've covered former Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard on this channel plenty of times, and just when you think the chaos might finally be over, she pops back up with another plot twist straight out of the corruption cinematic universe. This time, she marched into court, stayed silent, and once again pleaded the fifth. And no, this wasn't some random moment. It's exactly what it looks like when someone's stalling while the fire keeps getting hotter. So here we go. Welcome to Chapter 97 of How Not to Be a Public Servant.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Getting up at press conference, talking about nothing. Learn the laws. I tell y'all that all the time. Learn from me. But because I'm younger than all y'all think y'all can't learn from me, huh?
Here's the setup. Tiffany Henyard, the former mayor of Dalton, and let's not forget, part-time township overlord, supervisor, found herself back in court. Yesterday. Why? Because when watchdog groups asked her for public records, basic stuff like, where did the money go? She vanished like a bad Tinder date. The group behind the lawsuit? A public interest watchdog called Edgar, County Watchdogs. We've referenced their website multiple times while covering the non-stop saga of the super mayor. They hit the village of Dalton with a lawsuit, accusing Henyard's administration of straight-up ignoring basic Freedom of Information Act.
Tiffany Henyard's appearance in court was pretty quick and easy. She was ordered to come to court, in person after being found in contempt for not following state transparency laws and submitting records during her time in office. Now, as you mentioned, instead of testifying today, her attorney pled the fifth on the former mayor's behalf. Court documents say Henyard refused to respond to emails from last fall from Dalton Council requesting records in response to the FOIA request.
The watchdogs were looking for something pretty simple, which were some credit card
requests. FOIA requests are a big deal, especially when you're dealing with government at any level, but especially local government. You should be able to ask for certain records, and they should be required to hand them over. It's the law. They can't just ignore FOIA requests, but that's exactly what happened here. The watchdog group just wanted basic stuff, some receipts, credit card statements, meeting notes, the usual. But instead of producing those documents, Henyard and her team gave the legal version of new phone who dis. Now, the judge told Tiffany to appear in person because she was already found in contempt for blowing off state transparency laws. And in court, her attorney tried to wave it off, saying she didn't remember which document they were talking about. Said there was too much chaos back then. Yeah, chaos she helped create. And look, I'm not a lawyer, but at this point, she's clearly in deep, and she probably shouldn't talk. But here's the thing. If she really wanted to be transparent, why not just say, I don't have the documents? Instead, she pled the fifth again. Now, during her time as mayor and township supervisor, her attorney, Brenley, apparently told her to plead the fifth. And sure, if you've got a smart lawyer, they're going to tell you to protect yourself. She's no longer in office, and yes, she has every constitutional right to remain silent. But let's not play games. We all know what pleading the fifth really means. That's what you do when telling the truth could get you in trouble. Not when you lost a receipt, not when you don't recognize a paper in your hand. So if there's nothing to hide, what's she trying to protect? I think we already know. After all the nonsense, the money moving in and out of weird places, she probably doesn't want to say something that'll come back to haunt her. So she stays quiet. But here's the thing. This isn't a murder trial. This is about email chains and credit card bills. If you're innocent and you really don't know, you can say that. Under oath. But when you plead the fifth, it's like saying, I don't want to talk because talking might expose me. And that just raises more questions. What's in those documents that she's stalling so hard to avoid turning over? Why all the delays, the silence, the legal maneuvering, if it's all just a big misunderstanding? Unless it's not a misunderstanding. Maybe it's not forgetfulness. Maybe she remembers exactly what happened, and saying it out loud opens a whole can of legal worms. This ain't about avoiding drama. It's about dodging consequences. Think about it. This is just a credit card bill. It's not like we're asking her to declassify Area 51, but the chaos. Oh yeah, there was plenty of that. Her time in office felt like Parks and Rec if it had been written by Quentin Tarantino. She once waved a paper around at a board meeting claiming a program was canceled, but never showed the actual proof. So the courts were like, cool, let's see the evidence. And she just said, nope. And it gets even messier because, while that hearing was happening, the judge brought up yet another lawsuit. At this point, it's impossible to keep track. Honestly, you could start a whole separate YouTube channel just about Tiffany Henyard lawsuits. And this one? It didn't just name her. It named the entire village of Dalton and the fire and police commissions. Tiffany claimed she didn't even know about that one, which honestly could be true. She's got so many lawsuits, she might have lost count. But that's exactly the point. That's how she operates. Now her whole defense isn't just legal, it's spiritual. She's ghosting. Accountability on every level. Let's be real. This is nothing but a delay tactic. It's the legal version of hitting pause on a video you really don't want to finish. And with the FBI reportedly looking into her over misuse of public funds and retaliation against political enemies, pleading the fifth isn't just her best move. It might be her only move left. Because this isn't about someone trying to avoid being embarrassed. This is someone sitting on a pyramid of reckless decisions, just praying the whole thing doesn't collapse. So what happened after court? Well, that part might be even crazier. Because Tiffany Henyard went straight to Facebook Live. And she didn't act like someone who just walked out of court for corruption and stonewalling. No. She acted like she just came back from walking a red carpet. She didn't explain anything, didn't talk about the FOIA requests, didn't clear up why she was even in court, I kid you not, a ton of them. And she kept talking about it like she was the underdog in a movie montage. She thanked her supporters, talked about staying prayed up, teased a whole book tour like she's kicking off a press run, not like she just got held in contempt of court. According to her, everything was amazing. She called the entire day a success. I don't know what world she's living in, but that live stream was dripping in delusion. And the way she kept bringing up her haters? Let's be honest, no one's mad that she was the first suit mayor. People are mad about the transparency laws being treated like expired coupons. Her whole vibe made it seem like she was being targeted for her greatness, not for the shady way she ran her office. Because let's not get it twisted, a lot of this mess is her fault. She talked about her kid, about her dad, and of course she brought up her book, but never once explained why she pled the fifth, or why the FOIA requests keep mysteriously disappearing into the abyss. So now let's talk about this book. Because honestly, this part is wild. Keith Freeman once said that Tiffany Henyard didn't do emails, so we're supposed to believe she's about to write a whole book. What's this memoir even going to include? A chapter about ghosting transparency. Laws? A section on ignoring FOIA requests like their spam mail? Because if you can't speak up in court under oath, what exactly are you going to reveal in a book sold on Amazon? We're supposed to believe that now, suddenly, she's ready to tell her story, not to a judge, not to investigators, and definitely not under penalty of perjury. So let's be real. This isn't about transparency. This is PR. This is a calculated move to flip the narrative before reality checks her with a court date. Let's not forget, she was supposed to tell her story back when she ran for election. She claimed to have receipts, proof that she wasn't involved in any wrongdoing, that she wasn't guilty of what people were saying. And guess what? Those receipts never showed up. Not in her podcast, not in her interviews, not in her Facebook lives. She had so many chances to tell her side, and she never delivered. So what makes us think the book will be any different? Will it explain the vanishing records, the retaliation claims, the sweetheart deals given to connected insiders? Or is it just going to be another round of, "They hated me because I was the first," with a motivational quote slapped on every page? You can't say you're being silenced while live streaming every single thought. You definitely can't promise to spill everything in a book while hiding behind the fifth in court. One of those is a performance, and I think we all know which one it is. Let's be clear. This book isn't about honesty, it's about control. It's an attempt to shape public opinion while the legal system still has her locked in its sights. And yeah, if she actually does put a book out, I'm going to read it. I already know most people probably won't, but I will. She'll probably use a ghostwriter or something. But if it drops this summer, it's on my summer reading list. No question. But based on the lawsuits, investigations, and public backlash, this chapter is far from over. That live stream was damage control dressed up like a motivational speech. And let's be honest, she seemed pretty hyped she didn't end up in jail. A lot of people thought she'd be walking out in cuffs. So yeah, that live, it was the political version of screaming, "I'm unbothered," while your house burns down behind you. If Tiffany Henyard really had nothing to hide, she'd go live with the actual receipts, not with another round of filtered thank you speeches. This isn't some spiritual attack. This is legal accountability. And no matter how many affirmations or Instagram filters she throws on it, the subpoenas keep coming. The judge gave her permission to submit an affidavit basically saying, "I don't got it." That's the legal equivalent of shrugging and walking away. And for now, the judge let her off the hook. But the people of Dalton already voted her out. That's the only accountability they can control. The rest, that's in the court's hands. And the clock is ticking. Let's not forget the whispers, the shady Vina contracts, the insider hookups, the public money that allegedly didn't get used the way it was supposed to. Some of this stuff is under quiet investigation, and that's before the FBI even decides what they're going to do, because when they dig deep. This isn't just one scandal. It's a series, a full season's worth of legal drama. Every affidavit, subpoena, and leaked email just peels back one more layer of how deep the corruption might actually go. So we'll see what happens. Are you curious about the Tiffany Henyard book? Because I am. If she ever finishes it, I'll be buying a copy. She might not finish it. But what do you think about this whole situation? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.